Presented by That Time I Got Reincarnated in the Same World as an Anime Podcaster, this is Shonen Jumping the Gun, the show where we set our sights on the first chapter of a manga and decide if it's a misfire or a bullseye.
Let's see how many rounds are in this magazine.
On today's episode, get ready to massage some muscles. It's Hero Girl, Healer Boy, Touch or Die! Welcome, everybody. I am your master masseuse with the magic manipulators, Moxie the Een, here with the source of the rare element, Isekaium. It's Isekai Sensei Brad. Brad, how you doing?
I'll be fine until they start trying to mine it.
Give it time. You're a valuable resource now, as you have been. Here we are. We are on the third part of our, I think it's going to be 5-part arc, which is way longer than I intended it to be, of the weird horny arc to celebrate our 69th episode, which this is now the 70th episode, I believe, unless this gets twisted around.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yes. And we are covering Hero Girl. I guess we just had this conversation, but it was like on-off mic of like, this is one that has an X in it, which the Japanese, I think, means cross. Like, it's not on the PlayStation controller. It's not an X button for them. It's a cross button. And they do a bunch of funky stuff with it. As in, like, Spy X Family is, Spy cross with family. Hunter X Hunter doesn't make any sense. I don't know what it means that a hunter's cross with a hunter. I don't know what that means. Other examples I can't think of off the top of my head.
But I think we're at a place now where we say the X is silent.
The X is silent, but if you're Googling it, it is Hero Girl X Healer Boy, Touch or Die.
Wow, the colons? Oh, jeez, that's a little much.
That's the subtitle up of Touch or Die. Except also the Japanese language doesn't have any punctuation, to my knowledge, so who knows how that looks.
They use English for
Maybe it's just a second line. I guess they could just take it from us. But no, we are covering this as suggested to us by B after I asked them because I knew they would know, and they indeed hooked me up with this one.
Just keep that in mind.
Keep that in mind. This whole episode. B, if you're listening to this, thank you.
Sure.
I know. Justifiable. This manga, I know. Sorry, everybody strap in. This manga is by Ui Mazakazu and has seemingly been running since 2020, but it's hard to tell. It is very hard to Google. It's not really over here. I could understand why to an extent. We read the first 3 chapters, though I think I mostly summarized the first 2, but all 3 of them were like quite short.
I only read the first 2 chapters because you told me to only read
You're
the
correct.
first 2
Then I
chapters.
might have like a modicum of future vision that is, I promise you, not important.
I believe
outside of a singular concept that I think you will understand.
We'll talk about why you said that.
We'll get that. Here is a cleaned up Moxie's Mox Speed. What's the M word for cleaning something up?
Mopped
up manga summary. Attempted to cut down a little bit on some of the things, but we'll see how it comes together. 3 years ago, villains from space. I don't know why I commented on that. I guess it's just, I always love when it's like an amount of time that's like not a 5 or a 10 or a 1. It's just like, why 3?
3 or 7.
3 or 7. What about 6? What about 8?
2.
What about 2?
2 even.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Prime numbers. 7. 3 years ago. 3 years ago, this is going to be one of those episodes. Villains from space descended upon us. I'm assuming we are collectively Earth in this situation. Since then, the world's been a constant hotspot for crisis. Heroes rose to protect the people every time. Those who have crossed the singularity possessed transcendent powers and became heroes. Yet they remain human at their core, and they are heroes who battle on, wounded yet unyielding. Full life consequences. I really should have written this like that. That would have been really funny. Chapter 1, Project SS. We see many femme heroes doing battle on our spread page. We meet our Protag-san, fawning over his hero cards, his favorite being Shadow Rouge, the last... Kunoichi? I never feel like I say it
Kunoichi.
right. Kunoichi. Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Kunoichi. There you go. She joined the WDO to avenge her destroyed village, we learn later. But somehow now this great hero is before me in this stripped-down state, wanting a massage? Cut back in time to the World Defense Organization. That's the WDO I mentioned earlier. Tokyo branch, where our major hero geek Protag-san, Shingura Shuzen, works.
Otaku.
Yeah, I guess you're right. You're right. Otaku's for any geek thing. Specific. We just use it for weeb stuff. Because it's... Yeah. He admired the heroes so much and wanted to work with them, but his crappy college just barely got him into a low-level job, and now he just fields phone complaints. He kills time between calls looking at hero smut, which is pretty wild because he works at the WDO. I give him points, though, for shit-talking somebody lollifying Shadow as someone lacking taste. Because in his words, it's all about the ass. And I was just like, you know what? Small golf clap. Small golf clap. I know, Glass House is... We're here. This is what we've decided. This is the world we live in. Then, oops, the very curvy command secretary, Ms. Domeki, stops by and sees this. What is she doing here talking to me, a lowly grunt? Oh, God, oh, shit, it's not what it looks like, ma'am. We hear from her inner monologue that she is disgusted with him, but she tells him the commander requests his presence. Oh, he is so fucked. The secretary continues to berate him for being a creep during the walk. Then we meet the commander, who is also a beautiful woman. Protag-san is told he has been chosen for Project SS. Do you know the hero Shadow Rouge? Dude begins spurging out over her, including her measurements. The commander says the rumors are true. The secretary removes her blouse to reveal she is Shadow Rouge. Protag-san then begins both worrying over her from her last battle and really, really wanting to touch her. He is told he is about to be told something that there is no going back from. If it helps heroes, he'll do it. A bomb collar is then placed on him, and he is commanded to massage Shadow. This is Project SS. If he fucks up, the collar explodes. Touch or die! I'll do it. I'll touch the hero and die. Shadow says she will kill him if he acts like a creep. He begins kneading her like bread dough. We get a flashback where the commander explains to Shadow that Project SS
You're just going to gloss... He specifically grabs her ass.
Yes, I know. I said cleaned up. That's what the mop was for. I'm trying.
You can gloss over everything up until now.
I glossed over a lot of things.
But that one's important.
There's a lot of glossy images.
She's got a sword to his neck.
She does.
And he's just like, fuck it, grabs her ass.
It's like, if I'm going to die, I might as well get to touch the booty. Project SS, it's Shuzen Shingura, SS, our Protag-san. He emanates a special substance, Shuzenium, that can recharge hero singularity batteries, a thing which only degreases with every battle and seemingly has no other way of recharging outside of a lot of rest. But there is a side effect. You are filled with overwhelming sexual ecstasy. It's very intense. Back in the present, Shadow's will breaks and she begins enjoying the massage, and 2 to the flashback, her singularity battery begins to refill. Chapter 3 was mostly just more of it. It was almost too porny. And I said I'd have to have some modicum of respect retained in my body on this episode.
If I go back and I look at everything that B has recommended for us.
Yes.
I can't help but think that they're trying to get us to cover hentai.
What's the other thing they...
Nanan Keiru.
You know what? B, you continue to be a real one, and I appreciate the things you suggest to me because I enjoy them because we're on the wavelength. Brad is not on the wavelength. You are also stated very justified. This is even I don't know if even more than that. This is similarly to Nankar a hair's breadth away from pornography.
Yeah, and I'm just like, I'll just read hentai. I can do that. I'm an adult.
I mean, I continue to do my position of that's lame. I love the dance. I love the line.
Oh, God.
That's what I'm about. I love this.
I both understand you and it's also exasperating to me.
It's very fun. Hey, same for you, buddy, for me. I love dancing in the line because it's, I'm normally in a rush to get to the fireworks factory. Mm. In these scenarios, I want to take as much time to get there, but I want to be like slowly lighting wicks as I'm going. And that's what this is, a slow lighting of wicks as we very slowly make our way to the fireworks factory in a sexy, very obvious what this manga is doing way.
You're all about the foreplay.
I do love the foreplay. It's all about brain stimulation firsthand.
Okay, I'm going to get this out of the way really quick.
Do it.
As normal, we're going to talk about the uncomfortable thing first, and then we'll move on. 'cause
Okay.
we'll float over it. It sort of upsets me the way this is framed of like, they don't like him, and then he touches them, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, well, I guess I do like him. It feels good."
They like the thing. I don't know if her opinion of him is essentially changed afterwards. I have not seen that yet.
But this is a very Japanese thing where it's like it's the man's job to get
be so good at it that the woman now likes it.
Yeah, and I don't like that.
I normally don't. Okay, this is my
let
weird...
me be clear.
You're justified. You're justified.
Really love a woman who is really into it.
Yes.
Real horned up. She's asking for it, like all over it. I love that.
Goodness.
I don't like starting off with, "I'm disgusted by you. I don't want you to touch me, but I guess I have to," that kind of thing.
I normally don't, and I think it's by... I do think... It's not as much as Keijo as I wanted, but I do think B got a passing grade on this of just like the ridiculousness of this one particular man has this special thing like material in literally his hands.
Also, how did they figure this out without him knowing?
It's so ridiculous. It's so silly and ridiculous. Like it's just so absurd that I just like. It allows my brain to go, yeah, fuck it. I don't like whatever. Like I know like in any other scenario, like literally in the last episode, I was like, I don't like how quickly he convinces these two women. And this one, I'm just like, fuck it. This is the most contrived, ridiculous bullshit to just get to the thing that they want to get to.
I hate that he's using his words and saying nice things and then they like him. I like this one better where he touches them and instantly they like him.
No, I don't like that he likes it. It's this like... I don't like that relationship, but it's just such an absurd situation.
Yeah.
It's like, what if One Punch Man and the Hero Society was hot and horny? It was all hot women and just weirdly horny.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I get the fantasy there. I can understand that. I guess it's the framing of the audience insert character protagonist.
Yes.
That is like, we could have done this without that, right?
I mean, yes. I mean, this is the, like, I don't know. I feel like protag, is Sama what I use for adults? I guess
San,
kid.
You said.
San. Protag San. Like, I'm always a little bit more forgiving of protag Sans than protag Coons, just because there's so many more protag Coons than protag Sans. Like, even though he's still kind of, like, I don't think he's full on a piece of shit, but he's bouncing a little on the edge. But it's like he works, like he does. I know. Like your point is valid. I don't want to stop saying your point is valid.
I don't mind this guy's characterization.
Yeah,
it's the specific superpower thing, where it's like, I don't want them to magically not think he's a creep or like magic.
But I don't know. Like it's like again, it's like I don't. You know, this is me. Hi, welcome to my glass house. I throw stones from here. This was my thing, so I was able to float over stuff that Brad was not able to. Your point is justified. My counter argument from my house is that I don't know if she goes back to being mistrustful of him afterwards.
I would
when
expect
she's not in the middle. I would hope so, or maybe at least like lighten up a little bit. Like I don't know. Like this one, more than any series we have covered, this one feels the most like a thin veneer of like a thin blanket placed over top of an actual hentai. Like, like chapter 3
in
got
Nana and
way
Keiru,
close.
she's literally peeing outside.
True. I forgot that was in that chapter. Yeah.
Now, they're very close.
B's got some stuff. Yeah, literally.
So
a hair's breadth away.
Yeah.
From being out of bounds for us.
And I want to be clear. I can float over this. It's just
no, but you can't. Wait. It's okay. It's okay to not float.
No.
You're justified and valid for not floating.
There are things here that I'm interested in.
Yeah.
Like you said, the whole like hero association filled with only beautiful women. That's an interesting thing to me.
Yeah, it's like a fun, it's like, I don't know. Like that weird horny arc was just like the situation is so absurd, even though it is so clearly self-serving as titillation and fan service, that you just go, fuck it, let's ball.
Sure.
And in a weird way, this was wanting a continuation of the fuck it we ball arc, but in a different way.
Well, and I guess
that's what I like about Keijo, because it's just this situation is so absurd that I'm just like, sure, fine, whatever, do it, just do your thing. Like I'm in for it.
I think this is more of a intellectual thing for me.
Okay.
Because here's the thing. if I was reading this and this was literally hentai,
I wouldn't like it.
I would read it.
I wouldn't like it.
Okay.
This is the interesting thing every time we have stuff that bumps up against.
I think it's the way it's presented for me is it's like if I go into something expecting full on, a sexual experience, then I'm like, okay, that's what I'm here for. But when I go into this and it's like, oh, I'm expecting it to be a bit horny, but like it's a hero thing,
but
right?
It's why you're here. There's
then
nothing,
it's like,
at least in these first 3 chapters, which admittedly, like these first three chapters are like under 60 pages collectively.
Mm-hmm.
Like these are all very short chapters.
And to be clear, as I mentioned, I am an ass man.
Yes, correct.
Like,
there's a lot of booty. There's a lot of booty looking, a lot of booty chat. They're well drawn.
Yeah, this would be my thing.
Again. But like as opposed to Keijo, there is nothing here besides the horny.
At least so far.
I doubt after these first. I really doubt it. But like
if there is stuff later on that isn't just horny, I think this is a failing of the first chapters, because you have to. In the first chapter, you have to give people some sense of.
But
what
also
they're
remember, this
getting.
first chapter is like less than 20 pages.
Yeah.
Like these chapters, like I said, like collectively, the first 3 chapters are the first chapter in most any work.
But how far would I have to go to get to the non-horny part?
I don't know. I think
I shouldn't say non-horny. The part where there's more substance.
The structure that exists in between the thing, like because that's what's like now that like all the thing has been set up for. It's like, is there any more time in between it? What is it being filled with? Like, is he going to be on the scene for hero stuff? Like, I'm assuming he just meets the rest of the heroes because they're all beautiful women, and it's like, here's the little scenarios. Like, it just feels very like, this is the dating sim. Like, this is not a story. This is just the dating sim. Here are the girls. You will meet and touch or die them all.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, the absurdity of the situation is doing a lot of heavy lifting for my brain to just float over things. Like, just the howl that I let out when they put a bomb collar on him was
I did like that.
Like shook my windows of just like, oh, we're Suicide Squatting. Because I'm just like, when touch or die, I'm like, oh, they're gonna like, she'll kill him or the business thing, but not the literally the ka-chunk as he's like having these uber horny thoughts, and I'm just cackling.
I do sort of wonder what the point of that is though, because couldn't they just kill him like with a sword?
I feel like the bomb collars to like, it's the like obedience thing. I think that's a part of this.
Maybe
but it's also funny. It's like
maybe it's not actually a bomb. Maybe it's just
it knocks him out because it's like they need his hands. He's the only guy who has this.
That's what.
But I love these like this idea like you learn about like because the first chapter it mentions the singularity, and I thought that was just like, oh, something happened and they got powers, but it's like an actual thing, and they have like little batteries that go down that they can like. Chapter 3 is. The massage continues playing out, and they make a point to go, the battery that we can somehow track is being refilled right now. Keep going.
Yeah, because she mentioned in chapter 2 that she was down like 20% or something from when she first started. And like, if she keeps going, then she'll have to stop being a hero.
Yeah, she feels bad sitting out because she has to rest because she can't just, and it's like they have team-ups and stuff, and it's just like,
which is a terrible way to go about heroing because, like, the people with the most experience are going to be the weakest.
Exactly. That's why they had to find. It's silly. It's silly. What if One Punch Man but horny?
Yeah, I mean, One Punch Man is pretty horny.
Is it?
I
mean, I know there's Opie, but like, yeah, but more like blatant. More like that was the purpose and not just the spice.
Yeah. Murata loves drawing bodies. It's ridiculous.
Okay then. Yeah, I guess because not one Murata because one can't really draw that well. He can draw okay. I said he's getting better. I feel like there's at least one more conversation in here, but I haven't figured out what it is yet. I feel like this is so much of like I was hot and bothered reading it in a way that I was like literally like going like, oh my gosh, B, what have you sent me? And like fanning myself. And like, I know what it is. Like, I guess it's the classic thing of like pornography of like, you can't define it, but you know it when you see it. And it's like, this is one of those scenarios and it's either your thing or it's not. And I guess the thing of my continuing trend of things we've already talked about here is like, I'm glad Japan is finally learning about butts. I think if this was not rear end based, I don't think I would have been as on board. But it's just like, touch or die. Sure, fine, whatever. I like that they point out, I mean, I said in the summary a little, I like how they point out how cavalier it is that he is literally looking at smut of who is essentially his coworkers.
I mean, I think the contrivance there is correct in that, like, he's off in this corner somewhere and no one ever comes over there.
No, not that he'd get caught or not, but just sort of the, like, I don't know if it's irony is the word that I want, but just like the inherent strangeness of like these heroes who are kind of like imagine you were in the Marvel universe and you worked at SHIELD and you read like Captain America /fic while you were at work, and it's like, this is a real human
you say that
who you'd never run into but is technically your coworker, and just the inherent like strangeness of that.
I think that probably exists in the real world.
Oh, 100%.
If you think about like even just Japanese idols, I'm sure there's people who work for those idol companies that are like stans.
Yeah, probably. I would say another thing that, I mean, celebrities to an extent, pro wrestlers I could think of, just of like, because it's just a bunch of beautiful people of many different body shapes. Like, but there's just like, I appreciated that they lampshaded the not, I don't think lampshade's the right word here, but like they made a point of like, it is kind of weird that I'm doing this, but I don't know what else to say. Like, my enjoyment is not a thing I'm going to talk at. Like, the reason of my enjoyment of this is not something I'm going to talk about as much of, like, singing the praises of Keijo, because Keijo has a skeleton outside of what it's...
Right, and that's why...
outside of the horniness, and this has no skeleton. This has no bones.
Yeah, I was very much like...
This has one bone.
Keijo, like, there's an actual story here.
Yes.
I'm somewhat invested in what's going on here. I enjoyed reading it, and the butt shots and boob shots that were sprinkled in there were more of like a spice that was added, rather than like trying to be the whole dish.
There is nothing here outside of...
I wouldn't say there's nothing, but there's not enough.
There's so little, because all of it is so specifically self-serving to what we're doing.
Yeah.
Why you're here. This is the main event. Like, there's no... We're not pretending. We're not building any other structure so far. Like, we technically are with, like, the whole, oh, here's the hero thing. They're fighting villains. But, like, that is the most boilerplate, yada, yada, yada.
I think that's why...
I just want to set up the scenario. But I guess I appreciate it for it being this ridiculous scenario of, it's the hero world, but this is how you're helping out.
Yeah.
Like,
but I think that's why...
I think it does fit the arc.
I would prefer if it was just hentai. Because... And let me be clear, like, there's lots of different kinds of hentai. There are plenty of hentai out there that have whole stories in them. There's this one that I've seen that is literally multiple chapters spanning hundreds of pages. I mean, I think there's like 800 pages of this thing. It's like a full manga, and there's shitloads of sex in it, but then there's actual stuff going on in between the sex scenes. And if this was that, I would probably read it.
If this was actually what it is dancing on,
yeah,
and maybe come in future chapters, I don't know. I feel like it's so interesting when we read these ones where it's just like, I don't know what lurks inside. Like, I don't know how far this goes, if this will cross a line or not.
Well, and to that extent,
not usually a problem that other series we cover have.
I will probably read more of this just to see. But if it doesn't do something, then I'm not going to keep going with it.
I mean, knowing me, if it only has the one song to play, I'll get bored of it very quickly. But I don't know. I mean, I kind of said what I like. I don't know if this is just going to be a series of, here are other hero girls, they have different dynamics, he massages them, they get back in the fight. Like, are we going to see the fight? Do we see what she's going to get up to in other battles? Like, what do we do after, like, even if there is the smallest of skeletons to get us here, now that that's out of the way and we've set up the scenario, do we do that much setup again, or is it mostly just point to point of
Moxie?
We're massaging other heroes?
Should we and come back?
No. I'm reading this in my room, and I'm not talking about it to another living creature.
So
outside of maybe you.
Has come out. Everybody
come
knows
out.
about this.
Whatever that new.
But we haven't actually released it yet at time of recording.
Correct.
So we don't know if anybody actually likes that yet.
Yes, I cannot remember what we call it. Still,
did we call it anything?
You had a name and I had a tagline that went with it, but I don't remember what they were now.
Because the thing is now I said in that we would, if we didn't like it, we would, and if we did like it, we would. This one, because the chapters are so short, I think we would need to read more than the first, so to speak. Because
if I was going to do that to a series in this arc, it would be Keijo, because it's the only thing that actually has enough meat on the bones, pun mostly intended, that I would be interested to dig further into and talk about. I don't think there's going to be. This is something that maybe, like, if we go back, if we do that with Keijo, which I don't know if I want to quite yet, this would literally just be before this episode comes out, we both and we record between us of like, oh, it went here. Like, I don't think it warrants the full write-up and everything. I think it's literally just we want to open the box further and report back. Yeah. Because there's not that many chapters, I don't recall.
If we do that, it'll go here. Hey, everybody. So, as you can tell, we did not record that. The special new format thing that we're doing didn't come out because we had 2 new weekly Shonen Jump releases that came out and sort of screwed up our timing on stuff. That extra special episode will be coming out when this arc is over in just a couple episodes. But for now, you aren't allowed to know what it is. So stay tuned, and we'll see if there's any more beeps in here. But suffice to say, we did not, in fact, read more of this for this episode. You're welcome, guys, and back to you.
Thanks, maybe future us, but maybe not.
Maybe the listeners are like, there's nothing there.
Schrodinger's future.
And we're just speaking into the ether.
I mean, do we want to get into conclusions, or do you have things? Where do you think it's going? I don't think I've pitched some predictions and guesswork at things. You're usually good at this, and not necessarily in this particular genre venue, but
if this isn't hentai, then I think what's going to happen is he's going to have to be going through the other heroes. So it works on this girl. There's a couple chapters of her and dealing with the fallout of that and everything. And then as it progresses further, there's going to be other heroes that come in to get the treatment.
But is there anything in
And they're all going to be archetypes of different...
Are we going to see their fights even if he's not present?
Maybe.
Or is this just going to be... What's that? I've never seen it. I don't think I would like it, but I know you've talked about it. I know other people have talked about it, where it's like other world, like brothel reviews, or I don't remember the actual term.
Oh, interspecies reviewers?
Yeah. Is that not just we go from point to point, we do the thing, we talk about it, and then we go to the next one? Or are there bones in between?
Yeah, to an extent.
Okay.
That's another one that I didn't find worth it because it wasn't actually hentai, even though it got really close. Like really, really close. But even like the uncensored version was not
I don't think I'd want to cover that.
No.
I have my limits.
But that's an example for anyone who does know about that. So that's an example of me going, just do it. Just go for it.
The question hopefully our future selves answered, if they appeared at all, was, are there bones in between the quote unquote scenes? Does this virtual novel dating sim have any gameplay elements, or is it just we go from scene to scene to scene to scene?
CGI to CGI.
Yeah. Maybe a few text box in between to just go like, I went to bed that night, and not like actual like, I had to do my job, or I went to a battle, or like we get to see someone like there'll be interpersonal relationships that literally mean anything. Like,
so he'll meet the various other heroes and heal them, and they'll all have different ways.
And then the manga's over.
They sort of come into this.
Yeah.
Like one of them will be really into it before
one of them
he
will be
even
shy.
does anything. Yeah. At some point,
one of them will be like mean, but in a different way than this lady's mean.
Yeah,
because she's kind of justified.
At some point, there will be this big battle, and lots of them will get injured at the same time.
So to do them all at once.
Yeah, and will he
ever have to massage the chief? Will the chief be some big hero?
I don't know. Maybe.
Future selves. Maybe we'll cut it in here to make you unsure if we did it or not. We'll give you multiple opportunities. We'll make you the listener just as unsure as we are currently in time recording this the first time.
Yeah, I read this one. I read this one this morning, and I'm just like, what is this even for?
Me. I don't care. It's not one I would, unless you're a specific flavor of degenerate, this is not one I would suggest the general populace read. You know, like I feel like if more than anything, this is a good data point to Keijo, to point up Keijo more. Like Keijo has, maybe not to the level of extreme, but like just as many leering, you know, camera up shots and such. But like Keijo's actually doing other things, that are genuinely compelling, on top of the horny titillation.
And again, it's unfortunate if this is doing more stuff because it's not doing it in these chapters.
Yeah, I don't think it has to. I think it knows what it is. Let's before we move into conclusions, let's cast our votes. That won't be important because future us will hopefully have already spoken. Do you think this has more bones in between the segments?
I mean, I feel like it has to. It's got a ton of chapters.
I'm going to say no. I don't think it does. I think the chapters are short enough that scenes will take long enough, and that's what fills up the space.
I
hope you're right.
If I come back,
feel I'm right.
If we come back to this and it turns out that it is just going through the motions and there's nothing else to it, I'm even more disappointed than I currently am.
You are justified in such a feeling. That's why it's like, this is not worth the full. Like...
I should rephrase that. I'm currently not disappointed, so to speak, a little bit.
Yeah.
But I'm more confused and sort of like, I feel out of place with this. But I will be disappointed.
You don't like. We've already talked about your feelings on these types of series and my feelings on these types of series, so it's just like, it's just open the box. Future us will report back, maybe here, and report back about what we found. It is not going to be to the extent of Blue Box or other series in the future that we will cover in that manner.
I'm just going to cut it in at the very end after the beeps.
Don't do it after the beeps. Not fuck with them, not fuck with us. We'll have been there. We'll have recorded it or not. Hopefully we will. But yeah. Thinky thinks and feely feels.
I'm gonna say I think this is good, to the extent that I think the execution of what it's going for has been executed.
Just doing it, yeah.
I don't have feelings for this. I can't.
Brad feels numb
because.
That's fine. No,
my feelings on this are so contingent on what it's going to do next. I literally cannot make a judgment call.
Cannot do it. Okay.
For this, because if it is going to actually have a story and do things, then I think it's good. But
even if it's not, even if what it's doing is not great, just because it's trying something,
okay. But if the continuation of this is literally just, and then he rubs this girl's butt. And then he rubs that girl's butt. And then he rubs this girl's boobs. And that's it? Then I'm just like, no, fuck this.
Put some time in between them. I think this is fine. I feel that this is good, parentheses, I'm being pandered to.
See, I thought on a technical level, like the art and everything, I think
fine.
They did a good job.
It's fine. Like, I think this is one of those places where I separate out of going, it's like, this is a thin veneer for what it wants to do. And I don't think that lends to Thinky Thinks quality as much as, like, because it's because I'm here for it, so my feely feels make up for that. But my Thinky Thinks are like, I'm measuring that by the fact that, like, there's nothing here.
If I separate the story from the execution.
What story?
Exactly. Then I would say
there's a promise of a thing that
the art is good.
You've thought more in your head about the world
bad.
than the manga has done so far in the first chapters.
Exactly.
Because it's just a setup to do these things.
Right.
And I'm like, again, that's why I think it's good, or I think it's fine. I feel it's good, parentheses, I'm being
so that's
too.
Why when I say that I think that it's good, that is giving it the benefit of the doubt.
Yes. Schrodinger's thinky thoughts. Parentheses, trusting.
But my own personal feelings on it, I can't.
Numb. Would you buy it?
If the only way that I could see what else is going on is that I have to buy it, then yes. But if no.
Okay. I would. Like, it's like, I was titillated. Like, I would buy it and store it somewhere that no one could find it. Because it is like, because there's sometimes, like, Keijo, it's like, I would talk about Keijo. I'd be a little embarrassed by it, but I would talk about it. This, I would be like, unless I already knew you were a degenerate that knew about it, I would not breathe a word of this to another living human. Like, this is so specifically self-serving. There's no articles to pretend I'm reading. There's no articles. It's all pictures.
I feel like this is on a slightly less embarrassing level than Nana and Keiru.
Nana and Keiru, yeah, but Nana and Keiru is an extra flavor of something.
Yeah.
That is another one where it's like, I would not breathe a word of this. Outside of that context, admittedly, but this is even more so because it's like there's no extra thing of like, oh, it's also about this. It's like, no, this is what we have so far. Very straightforward.
Yeah.
There's not really any dancing around. You're like, oh, you get literally. There's no articles I'm reading here on top of the pictures. It's just pictures. Do we need a high noon? I don't want to high noon this. I know we could.
I think we were pretty close.
I think it's fine. I don't want a gunfight over this.
I mean, thought-wise, fine versus good.
I know what it is. I will lay down my arms in a moment and just go like, yes, I know. I get it. It's a cheap, flimsy little thing, but it does the dance that I like, so I take the smut in.
I don't begrudge you for liking this.
No, I don't begrudge you for liking the things you like.
You sort of do.
For the most part. At the end of the day, I go, just like your things, whatever.
I wish it was a little bit different in one way or the other.
I wish it had something.
Yeah.
It's maybe
straddling a line right now.
Maybe Future Us will tell us right now.
It's straddling.
That was good, Future Us. That segment was totally there.
It's straddling a line, and I wish it would just pick a direction.
I respect that. So yeah, this has been Hero Girl, X, Cross, Healer Boy, Touch, or, Brad, say it with me, Die!
Nah.
Did you think about Death for Death when you read that?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay, because when I read that.
Speaking of better
touch
series.
Or die. Touch or die. Yeah, that boy with the freckles is mad cute, though. Who just, like, grafted magic things into himself, and he just punches. He's like, I can't get magic, so I just punch the shit out of magics. And it's like, that's rad.
Yeah. The whole series is pretty rad.
It's pretty great. It's really cute. There's a lot of really cute characters in there. Brad, put me out of my misery. Tell the wonderful people. Thank you.
We have a partner. I'm not going to say their name on this one.
You know where they are.
This series doesn't deserve that. But check the link in the description, and we've got our code and everything, so do it up. But I will tell you to go on our website, animepodcasterreincarnation.com, to find links to our social media, the big one being our Discord, where you can come and hang out with us. And we can talk about this one. Heck, maybe we've read all of it by the time you're hearing
Maybe
this.
Future Us will talk about it now.
No.
You never know. I mean, you're the one that controls it.
What else have we got going on? We got a link to our Patreon up there. Patreon, which is where our patrons are. And they can get perks like getting the high quality stereo version of the podcast early.
We are so flustered right now.
Or getting a vote on what we cover on heroin addiction. We haven't covered full on smut yet on heroin addiction, so
there's still time.
There's also bonus episodes up there. I think there's at least one bonus episode where we talk about sex stuff. So
that sounds right.
If
a while back,
if you need more of this content
romance
for some reason, why you want two men in their 30s talking about sex stuff, but you can go listen to that. And thank you to our patrons who make ridiculous episodes like this possible. We're going to shout them out now. Whether they want it
We're
or not.
sorry. This is what you're facilitating, enabling.
First and foremost,
Only sometimes.
at our noble tier, we have a Murky, Sir Kickdwarf.
I feel like I should have made a different noise. I didn't know what to do.
Wah, 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 wah.
First play the opening horn line from Brick House. Dun, 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 dun.
At our reincarnated tier, we've got Moon. And last but not least, at our commoner tier, we've got Rena.
Goodness.
And in a twist that no one saw coming, we have a new patron this week. Maybe they won't be after they hear this episode. But we also need to thank our new commoner tier patron, Last Man on Earth.
Thank you so much to all our patrons.
Thank you, patrons. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Thank you, Brad, for doing that. Make sure you listen to all the podcasts on my feed. And oh, gosh, Brad, we're going to have to get the hose, aren't we? This one's bad. Future Us, tell us about it now! Oh boy. B.
We'll talk about it.
Let's
just get into it.
I'd feel worse if this did not come from someone else and that human in particular. On today's episode, oh wait, shoot, I just got really excited about being able to say touch or die and actually figure out what my lead up was going to be. Well, sucker, you made me read this, so you're on your own. Your eyebrows say to me, I'm speaking as you in this scenario, not as myself.
Is the X silent?
I never know. Because it's like cross. In Japan, it's cross. It's not the X button on the PlayStation. It's the cross button.
Right.
But you can't call a thing a cross button in the West.
But when it's used in titles, it's not said. Hunter, x Hunter, Spy Family.
Yeah. But it's like present. Because it's cross. It's two things being... Hunter x Hunter doesn't make any sense, though. What does it mean to cross a hunter with hunter? Like, Spy Family is like, what if spy crossed with family? But it doesn't make any sense for hunter, and it's the same word twice. What is he talking about? I'll say it without the X this time, and hopefully I'll have my breath in the right spot so I can really hit touch or die. You either touch or you die. You touch or you die. Okay, I'm going to pause for a second. Brad, what is going on in your watch?
Lots of text messages.
I've noticed. Are you okay?
It's already on silent. I can't do anything about
okay. It's like
I'm just
constantly see you
I'm
looking
just
at it,
trying
and it's
to
driving me insane.
to get it to go away.
Okay, thank you. Fuck, what was I talking about?
Fuck.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. What? Because what
I wish they would.
Jesus Christ, Brad! Is your helm on fire?
No. It's literally, there's a group chat, and they're all fucking talking to each other.
Mute it.
Most of it is fine. Most of it is muted. But the people that are in my favorites, my wife and my son,
keep talking in it, and that's what...
bypasses the silent mode.
Because it is your family, and it's important to keep track of that. Shut up!
And I don't think that I can mute the whole... Maybe I can. Let me see.
You can mute a chat thing, but I guess I don't know how the favorites work with that.
He's just like, stop sending messages. What the fuck were we doing?
I'm trying to land this plane. Oh, but I was saying I would buy it. We'll just fade off with that one. Or you'll put it there. I don't know.
We're going to have to record like 7 different things now.
No, we aren't. I want you to leave extra space in between the ones you're not going to put anything. Play like the sound of like wind blowing to imply that a bar is empty. Like a tumbleweed.
All
goes
the
by.
different things. Tumbleweeds, crickets.
Yeah, crickets.
Wind.
The cicada, Japanese cicadas. Yeah.
A door creak.
Yep. A polite cough. Yeah, just the awkward silences specifically. We did it. Yeah, what is it? John something's symphony that's like it's essentially silence for like 4 minutes, and it's essentially all the sounds the audience and the band make in that time, just sitting. Which is one of those, it's more interesting to think about that and hear about it than is to actually experience that live.
Yeah.